Cain versus Ngannou, I love that match. And you know what? I normally win it. I normally wouldn't like that fight. You want to know why? We've seen Ngannou in there with the same fighter for the last year now. Stipe is the same fighter that Cain is in terms of a really good wrestler with really good hands that's got really good endurance. You go look at Curtis Blades. That's a very similar recipe. You got a really young, youthful, good-sized heavyweight athletic wrestler who's also got good hands. I actually think you can throw Derek Lewis in on that. You know, Derek Lewis has this wrestling background. He doesn't use it a lot because he chooses to use these hands. But one of the reasons he's always on his feet trading bombs with guys is because he's really hard to take down. So I just think when you look at that recipe and you look at some of the ups and downs that the last 12 months have represented for Francis Ngannou, I think that he deserves a lot of credit for continuing to jump back into the fire. Right, you remember when he was the next great thing, not only to the division, but to the entire sport. He was going to be world champion, and he was going to carry the company into 2019 and 2020. When all of that came crashing down, when he had the rug pulled out from under him, that was a tough spot emotionally for him. It was also a tough spot of, well, what do I do now? I was just the main event. I was just the #1 contender. What do I do now? I go lower on the card? Yeah, some of you at home are going to go, sure. But you could also relate that it's tough. Anything in life, it's tough to go down, but that's just the way the sport goes. So now you have some guys that are going to go crawl into a hole and be a crybaby about it. And you have some other guys that are going to step up to the challenge and do what a fighter does, which is to move forward. I think that Francis really deserves for that part of the story to be told about him. Particularly when you look into the fact that he just signed on to take on Cain Velasquez. Okay, Cardio Cain go 25 minutes all night long. That right there is an intimidating proposition. You also look at Cain's ability to wrestle. But then you also need to be fair that he doesn't use that weapon. Cain very seldomly uses that weapon. He likes to be a good old Western boxer. He likes to just come out there ones and twos in your shots versus my shot. For the large majority of his career, we have seen that work. But for a small part of his career, we've seen him take some big shots. We've seen that backfire. I would suggest for you that we've never seen him in there with anybody that can deliver the kind of punch that Francis Ngannou can, okay? Cain Velasquez does not need to be in that spot. He could go out and tackle this opponent, but he could have tackled all of the opponents before him, and he didn't do it. Go see his fight. First ever UFC on Fox. It's going to be JDS versus Cain Velasquez. Cain Velasquez is going to be the bright, shining star when this whole night's over. But he went out, he put himself in a situation he didn't need to be in, which was trading punches with a heavy-handed puncher. He got clipped, he didn't leave with his world championship. If you look at the history of Cain, he's very stubborn. It's one of the things we love about him. This all sounds like I'm being negative towards Cain. No, this is what I've seen over the course of 10 years of following this guy's career. But I also have to learn from those lessons, and I also have to be able to make a prediction based on what I saw. I believe that Cain is going to come out and trade punches with Francis Ngannou. I don't think that Cain's going to come out and tackle him. I don't think that you guys disagree with me. I think that we all believe. I think that the matchmakers that signed this fight even believes we're going to see Francis Ngannou and Cain Velasquez in a boxing match where takedowns happen to be legal. I think that's what you get. And when you look at the output of Cain, that's very intimidating. But if you look at the power of Francis, now you have something special to see.